we're going to be talking about water. I'm going to brew this coffee with 2 different waters and to see if I can taste the difference between them. In this one I have Calgary tap water, and in this one I have a water I built myself. So this is from Pemberton Springs, and I've added a touch of magnesium. I'll explain a bit more about that later on. Okay, this coffee this week is from Mexico. It's from Finca Santa Cruz. This one is an inoculated geisha. So inoculated means that during the processing they add a yeast which controls the fermentation to achieve some specific flavors from this coffee. The geisha varietal became famous from a lot in Panama from Finca Esmeralda, where it entered a competition and it blew all the judges away from being an exceptional coffee. So now geisha is much more common and it's grown lots of different places. It can lead to an exceptional cup, lots of beautiful floral flavors, nice acid, and a good balance. Okay, so to do my water test, I've ground the coffee already, and I'm going to split the same coffee into 2 bowls. So these cups are marked with different colors underneath, so I know which one is each. I'm going to get somebody to mix these 2 up so that I don't know which is which beforehand. So I have both of these kettles set to 97 degrees. So I'm going to pour this one first. This is the Calgary tap water. I'm going to pour this one. And now Riley is going to come and switch these around. So I'm going to go ahead and break the crust on these coffees now. It's been 4 minutes. And then I'll clear off any remaining grounds on top. And you probably won't notice much difference in the aroma of the coffees. It's more in how they taste. You can get some flavors coming through when it's hot, but generally when it cools down you get more coming through. I get a nice green apple and some florals in this one. This one is more subdued, there's more of the chocolate notes coming through. It seems a little less clear. The flavors are more muddied in this one. Still some nice caramels in there. So this one is lots more going on. There's a nice underlying brown sugar note. The finish is nice and clean and refreshing. So this one, maybe some dried fruits, and still a good sweetness. The finish is a little more drying. So if I was to guess now, I would guess that this was the water that I had made, and this one was the Calgary tap water. Let's see if I'm right. So this is grey, so this is the Calgary tap water. And this one is green, which was this water. So it's all to do with the minerals which are naturally in the water. Pure distilled water doesn't make very good coffee. That makes the coffee very flat, because the minerals such as magnesium and calcium actually bind to the flavor compounds in the coffee and draw them out. Also, without any kind of buffer, the coffees can be a little harsh. So by buffer I mean the bicarbonates, which you naturally get in water. The Calgary tap water is quite high in bicarbonates, which is the buffer. If there's too much, it tends to flatten the coffee down, reduce the acidity, and make the whole cup a little bit more muddy and confusing in terms of the flavor profile. There is some bicarbonates naturally in this spring water, but not very much, so that really brings out the crisp acidity of this coffee. There are minerals in the Calgary tap water, but not enough of the right minerals to bring out a nice flavor. This water I've added more magnesium, which is a really good way of bringing out fruit acids from coffees. So with a coffee like this, a fine geisha, having the right water will bring out the best qualities of this coffee. So your options for water at home, you can either use water straight from the tap, but like I said, it impairs the flavor of the coffee, and also if you live in a hard water area, then it will scale up your kettle or your coffee machine. Your other options are to use a filter such as a Brita filter, which will reduce some of those minerals down a touch and take out the chlorine. That tends to improve the flavour of the coffee and protect your machine. Or you can buy a spring water which has the right composition for brewing coffee. Or you can buy distilled water, and you can buy a pre-dosed pack of minerals specifically for coffee that you can add to the distilled water. It's interesting to play around with water to see what results you can get from your coffee.